Hi guys, how's it going? Just wanted to give an update of to what we are. What we are? We are human. Where we are, what we're doing, and what our future plans will be. Um, so just to say that we've left Amsterdam as of yesterday. Fantastic, wonderful place. Absolutely love it. It's the most liberal place that I've ever been to. Everything's just accepted or tolerated, or as long as it isn't harming society or harming anyone, then it's everyone just is like, yeah, fuck it, whatever, carry on. We learned so much from this one of this walking tour guy that his name's Sam. It was just the way he was explaining everything. It was just really, really passionate, and it was just like kind of makes you want to just move in, and then you just realize that these cyclists are crazy. Finally been to the Anne Frank place that people were banging on to me about to go see. Last time I was here in Amsterdam, I didn't go. And they were like, what? Why? Why didn't you go? Are you fucking nuts? You've missed out on a perfect opportunity there. And I was like, well, oops. The only thing that really caught my eye at the time was the Sex Museum, and we also went to that. And if you have any shred of innocence left, do not go. I mean, good God, do not go. It is terrifying. And they seem to really celebrate Marilyn Monroe. So obviously, Amsterdam is a very secular country now. Like, they've turned their churches into pubs. Like, you think, oh, there's a nice looking church. Let's go in. Oh, hello, it's a tavern. Okay, let's just grab a beer or grab a drink or whatever and just sit down and chill out. Oh, there's a cross. Yeah, whatever. Doesn't mean a thing now. Um, and then, so we saw this outside the Royal Palace. There's a church right next to it, and we're like, oh, there's probably going to be nice architecture. Let's go in there. Hannah specifically wanted to see the architecture. Walk in, realize we have to pay like €7 just to go past the main entrance, and realize it's an entire thing dealing with Marilyn Monroe. Like, it's a whole thing. But that being said, as much as I wasn't really fussed about the whole Marilyn Monroe thing, it's a good showpiece of her life and stuff like that, and what she's done. And I couldn't help but think she's been in a lot of films, and she's been in a lot of films. But yeah, interesting. And then you saw the whole conspiracy of the fact that, oh, was she killed? Did she die? Is it probable suicide? Blah, blah, blah. Interesting stuff. Um, and yeah, we met a couple of people along the tour as well. I met this Indian woman called Abby, or at least her name is not Abby. It's something else entirely. But me being English and unable to pronounce certain words and just go, huh? Basically, she just said, just call me Abby, and I was like, oh, brilliant. She works in advertising. She was really fun. She's been traveling around Europe from India to basically just cover the majority of Europe. I think she was heading to Paris next. I can't remember off the top of my head. But Abby, if you're watching this, I hope you're having a good time. Safe travels and all that. Also met a chap called Cheyenne, Cheyenne and Megan. They're from Los Angeles. They were also on the walking tour. They graciously paid for the majority of our. We went for dinner with them afterwards, and they graciously paid the majority of it. Felt a little bit bad, but hey ho, I can't really turn down people's offers because they may get offended anyway. But no, they were really fantastic. Gave us a larger insight in the whole Donald Trump situation. But they're traveling around Europe as well, and they've been to Berlin. They've been to what have they They've been to Prague. They've been pretty much scaring the whole thing. And as far as I'm aware, they're still going to Italy. Guys, seriously, when you get there, Rome is amazing, but make sure you take a detour in your small time and just either go to Florence or go to Pompeii. Either one. They're literally on the other end of the map, but go to either one in your small, short space of time, because you will not regret it, and you'll be like, fuck me, why didn't I? And especially Pompeii, you can go up the fucking volcano, have a look, and go, huh, I'm standing on a live volcano still. So, that's always fun. Um, but yeah, so only few bad points about Amsterdam is like I said, the cyclists, they are nuts. Like, it's I don't, for such a liberal country, for such a free and open country, I just don't understand how they don't comprehend road laws. They really don't. Like, you step into the road for all of a second, and I use the phrase "step into the road" when it's your turn to go. I.e., the green man is going, or the green car light is on, and that means if cars are going, they're going to go. But the cyclists are like, fuck that, mate, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. I've got two gears which are moved by my feet, and they are menacing, and they literally turn into demons. Like, there is no other way to describe it. If they're not, if you're in their way, hello, and fucking, you're on the ground. We watched. During our tour, actually, we had some guy, our tour guide, he was flawless. I'm going to just bang on about him again. Sam, he was absolutely flawless. He had this random woman who we're pretty sure saw preaching outside of on the train bridge saying, "Let Jesus into your lives." But we had some random woman coming out of her shop, basically constantly taking photographs and having a go at him for doing a tour around the public area. And we weren't sure whether she lived there, but it turned out she worked in the chocolate shop there. And we're thinking, hang on, if you think about it, you work in a chocolate shop, why don't you just come out and sell us chocolate? And that'll be a good play on sales. You'll get boost in sales, people recognize your shop, they'll come back. Unless your chocolate tastes like shit, obviously. That's probably why she was angry, I don't know. But no, he handled it flawlessly. And then all of 10 minutes later, he was doing a nice presentation, and a fucking car accident happens right behind him. So there was a push bike coming one way down the wrong side of the road. And this is another thing: push bikes don't care; they have no rules. But the push bike coming down one side of the road, cars trying to go on his side of the road where the push bike is, only for a moped to then smack him up the arse. It's like, because he didn't get out of the way fast enough. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. And poor Sam, I can see why he's got a few grey hairs now, because if that's the daily case, how he has to put up with it, I'm surprised he isn't just full-blown silver. And it's just, but in any case, the moment we left Amsterdam and the highway of Amsterdam, the motorway is, again, it's a little bit, why is this, it doesn't make sense. Oh, we're driving on the hard shoulder now. And then the moment we crossed the border to Germany, the motorway literally made sense. I'm like, so this is now officially this and this. Oh, fuck you, Amsterdam, for being so damn confusing. Allow your road users to use the road, please. We want to drive. But in either case, Amsterdam, brilliant place, love it. Anne Frank, definitely recommend that you go to the Anne Frank Museum. Something very haunting about it. And the fact that you get a true insight into the experience of this little girl. Obviously, she's not the only one that died, but the fact that you have a diary which has pretty much a direct insight into their lives. Menacing. Sex museum, avoid. I recommend going to the Reich Museum if you can. And it's not anything you're thinking about Nazi Germany because you heard the word Reich. But it's Reich is basically the German word for empire, I think. I think it could be. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's empire. In either case, it's an empire, and it's the Empire Building, and it's got all sorts of stuff in it, which we couldn't go to because we ran out of time. But we peered through the windows, and we're like, oh, this looks really nice. Oh, so yeah. Oh, geez, it's 10 minutes long. So yeah, that's our update so far. So get into Germany. We're now in Hamburg. We've just taken a slow start. We're both fine. I've been suffering some sort of novovirus lately. I initially thought it was food poisoning, but we're convinced it's like a novovirus because we haven't had any improper cooked food or anything like that. And unfortunately, the guests, I'm hoping nobody's noticed, but Jesus Christ, it's not something you want on the first couple of weeks of your travels. So, yeah, so now we're in Hamburg. We're actually going to take some time here. I think we're here for 4 nights, and then we're driving over to Berlin and staying at Hannah's place for a while. And I say that we're literally going to be there for a best part of 2 weeks, maybe a week and a half. So if you're in the area, if you're near Berlin, feel free to come hit me up and we can come out and have a good time and make the most of it. After Berlin, we're heading over to Denmark. So, alright guys, see you later.